Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. Now, a lot of people ripped off my coffee slurp or my, I used to play music and do a coffee slurp, and some people said, oh, come on, PJ, that's an homage to you. Are you serious? Is that an homage? It's an homage if they give me credit for it. Step One Survival did. I'm cool with him. I think today, though, I'll hand out my own homage to John of the Prepared Mind. Here's to you, brother. Semper Fi. It's been a day. Today we're going to do a wrap-up on the news as I see it. Things that struck me. This sex harassment, messing with chicks when you shouldn't be messing with chicks. What's that called? Sexual harassment? Up into including rape in some cases. Just going off the rails, and it's kind of, the chickens are coming home to roost. All these big and powerful people have been wielding it over these women. I can honestly say this, since high school, I was probably a jerk in high school, but whatever. I think all high school boys are jerks. I haven't sexually harassed any woman, ever. I honestly can't think of a woman that, I touched that she didn't want me to, kind of thing. Or, do the sleazy little, hey baby, want to come back to my place? That's not sexual harassment though, right? I certainly don't walk around in my underwear in front of other people, or worse, naked. I mean, what is up with these people? And I guess the latest victim is Conyers, right? He's down and out. He's retiring today because of it. More is going to come out. I feel a couple ways about it. Man, I could turn this into a live chat. I could actually rant on these things I want to talk about today for an hour. It's not like it's a big surprise. I mean, come on, it's called a casting couch for a reason, right? I mean, this stuff has been going on forever, and it's a kind of game that people have been playing. I'm not saying it's a fun game or a fair game or a nice game, but it is a game that the people in the biz kind of know about, and that's why they put up with it. It is what it is, but it's all coming to roost. But again, these aren't normal people. I mean, I haven't harassed anybody, so I'm not being a hypocrite when I say I think you're a jerk if you do. And if it goes to the level of criminality, I think you should be in jail. So there you go. Another bit of news today. Millennials are supposedly scheduled to be the biggest voting bloc. And, dun, 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 they're going to vote Democrat 2-1. Couple things on that. Are they really going to get out there and vote? Maybe. They seem to be getting energized with all this Antifa garbage. So they might vote. Democrats are worse than Republicans. Republicans aren't much better, but Democrats are definitely worse. What to do, what to do? Reach out to millennials. Try and get their heads screwed on right. I have a daughter who's a millennial. I feel your pain. I love my daughter. I really do. Some of those thoughts that got pounded into her head by the University of Kansas, didn't come from me. But then again, the millennial man, he's solid, right? He's a millennial. He doesn't have weird ideas in his head. So there's hope. There's hope. I think we need to reach out to, as a matter of fact, I'm going to talk to Millennial Man as soon as I get back to Shofar Mountain and tell him he needs to make a concerted effort to reach more millennials and sway them to our side, right? So there's that. Fire in Southern California, closed I-5, which is the major north-south highway in California. Today for a period of time, came up fast, started this morning, and 1,000 acres scorched like that because they're having 60-mile-an-hour winds in dry conditions. Hey, here's the deal, California, move. Don't live there, because you know what comes after fires? Rain and mudslides, right? And then houses fall down, and it's California. It's Yah's judgment on those people. And even if they're good people who are getting burnt up, they're living in and amongst them. Come out from amongst her, my people, so that you partake not of her plagues, right? You need to get out of there. But yeah, that's bad. So what about you? How are you set for big fire. You know, in the end times, fires aren't going to be put out by your local fire department. There won't be a fire department. Nobody's going to put it out. Some of them will spread. If buildings, it says in Isaiah, you shouldn't build building upon building, right? If you're living where buildings are close together, and a lot of places are, you know, the houses, even though they're separate houses, they're 20, 30 feet from another house. When a house is on fire, that's not far enough. It'll catch the next house on fire. I went to a fire one time. The barn was fully engulfed. When I say fully engulfed, that means the roof's on fire, the walls are on fire, the stuff that is inside it is on fire. We roll up there and immediately start putting all of our hoses on the house. And the woman is screaming at us, "Why are you putting water on the house? The barn's on fire." Yeah, we can see that. The siding on this woman's house was melting like candle wax when we got there. She was 2 minutes max away from her house going and catching on fire. We were saving the house. The barn was already lost. We weren't going to save anything in that barn, even if we'd put all our water on the barn at that point. We were trying to save the house, which we did. So I guess she probably figured that out eventually. But yeah, clearing brush around your place, you should give some thought to fire. Go walk around and look at it and think if there was a huge fire coming from that way, the worst way it could come from, you know, whatever that is, how would you deal with it? Maybe you need to clear out some of that deadfall. One of y'all told me this, and I've been doing it. Cut all the branches that are 10 feet high or lower, cut them off your trees, get all the deadfall out and stuff. I went to another barn fire, yard fire. And then the barn caught on fire. The guy was burning his leaves, and he had piled up leaves like 3 feet tall around the foundation of his house to keep it warm or something, and the burn from over here caught over there. Oh, idiots, man. Fire's important, so take care of that. Russia has been banned from the 2018 Winter Olympics for blood doping. Okay. I don't really watch the Olympics anyway. I watch the opening ceremony and stuff because I'm watching for security things, which they're really good at not showing. I really don't care, but Russia does. It's a big thing for Russia. It'll be interesting to see what they do next. I just wonder how much we were behind it in the background. We are really pushing them and trying to isolate them and whatever, that's going on. Tomorrow, I think, we'll have a decision, or the decision will be made clear on if the U.S. is moving its embassy to Jerusalem. I guess Jerusalem is technically a divided city or something. I should know this. Hey. But Palestine claims part of it. The Jews claim part of it. But they have decided, the Jews, Israel, the Israelis, how about that? The Israelis have decided that Jerusalem's their capital, but everybody's got their embassies, I think, in Tel Aviv, right? Tel Aviv. But the U.S. passed a law saying that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. I don't think we need to pass a law for that. I think it's up to the country to decide where their capital is. And that's what Israel did. They said Jerusalem's their capital. And so I think if you have an embassy, you ought to put it where you can get the most work done. Now, I am not a big Israeli studier. Is their whole government actually in Jerusalem? You know, like their House and their Senate, their Knesset or whatever? I'm not sure that they are. Where's all their departments of, you know, agriculture, defense, immigration, like all ours are in Washington, D.C. That's why all the embassies are there, so that they can deal with our government. I think we should, one, put our embassy where they tell us we can put it, and evidently we can have it where it is now. Two, we ought to put it where we can get the most work done. I'm not about making symbolic statements. I'm also not about caring what other people think. And so where do I think they should do? I don't care. Put the embassy wherever Israel wants it. You know, wherever we can get the most work done with the Israelis, with our diplomats and others at the embassy. That's where we should have the embassy. Guaranteed if we move the embassy from wherever it is, and I think it is in Tel Aviv, to Jerusalem, we're still going to have a consulate wherever the old embassy was, right? We're still going to staff that. So there's that. The Arabs are just like, oh,
You can't do that. This is a red line in the sand.
Shut up and quit whining already. My God. Act like adults instead of children or hormonal 8th graders. You know, it's not like we're putting the U.S. Embassy to Israel in Jordan. You know, we're putting it on Israeli territory, so go worry about something important. But, you know, oh man, I'm supposed to know how to pronounce his name. Erdogan, the head guy of Turkey, he said, you know, this is a red line in the sand. The Arabs are all like, oh, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe there's a new set of bosses coming to rule in Saudi Arabia, and they've been working closer and more closely and more closely with the Israelis on things. They may go woof woof out one side of the mouth. I don't think they really care. The Palestinians will get upset. Big deal. The Syrians will get upset. Big deal. You know, the Iranians and the Turks will get upset. Big deal. Why did we let Turkey into NATO in the first place? But anyway, I guess what's happened is we passed that law a while ago saying Jerusalem's the capital, and then every 6 months, the U.S. president from Bush on, I think, signs a thing going, oh, we're going to delay moving our embassy. We're going to delay, and they all did that. That's just stupid games playing stuff in my book, man. Whatever. I guess Trump was supposed to sign that on Monday. He didn't, which made people all go a jitter. There's a thing on Drudge saying reports are that he's going to delay it again. Oh, yeah. They also said that reports were that Mueller was subpoenaing his bank records. That was on the news today, too. And the White House is like, no, they're not. They haven't subpoenaed. We've checked with the bank. No, fake news, fake news, fake news. They think if they print it, it'll come true. So yeah, I think tomorrow we'll see. Trump did say he was going to put our embassy in Jerusalem. I kind of like that because of the two, the Israelis and the Arabs, I'll take the Israelis, right? Of the two. So yeah, make them mad. Good. That's not very mature, Pastor Joe. I know. Okay, U.S. Korea, big exercise going on. Lots of planes. We're flying some of our high-end planes. Our Raptor and everything is over there. Working with the South Koreans, working out of multiple airfields, deconflicting, working with the South Koreans, which is always a challenge. There's a lot of troops over there. Yeah, I told you last time when we didn't go right away with North Korea, I'm just not really getting excited about it. But we do have a lot of forces over there. Things could go pop. But then again, kind of segueing off of that, Japan has just announced that they're going to start doing nuclear evacuation drills in Tokyo from January through March to get their people ready to skedaddle out of there. It's going to affect millions of people. I bet you that whatever war plans we have or don't have, Japan is very well informed of them. This last trip Trump did, you know, sit-downs and talks and consultations, stuff on the side, they know what we're going to do, when we're going to do it. I mean, heck, we've got huge naval and air bases there, right? 1st Special Forces has a battalion in Oki. Lots of Marines there. Japan is like a launch point for North Korea. They know the deal. And so I think them saying that we're going to do drills from January through March, to me, that's like we've got till at least March before we're going to do anything. And like I said before, the North Koreans plan to fight in the winter. And so if we can avoid that, then that's a bonus to us and a detriment to them, right? So yeah, maybe we're going to wait till the spring. That's what I think. And watch tomorrow we'll wake up and it'll be a conflagration. Whatever. But that's going on. Hawaii has been testing its sirens for, you know, missile attacks and stuff. Yeah. I was stationed in Hawaii for 3 years. Enjoyed it. Was offered a second assignment to Hawaii years later, and I turned it down. You can have Hawaii. So that is my take on the news today. As I saw it, you know, we're at war. I was thinking about doing a video on this when I was driving up here. We're at war, still in Afghanistan. When I say at war, we have U.S. soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marine killing people on a regular basis, right? So we're at war in Afghanistan. We're still at war in Iraq. We're at war in Syria. We are... Where do drones come in when we're just killing people with drones? We're flying drones over Somalia and whacking people. In Yemen, we're whacking people. Dun, 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 dun. We're trying to put pressure on North Korea. That thing could pop. We are definitely getting ready to go after Iran. And who knows where that's going to go. I need to look into this latest treaty thing going on between Russia, Iran, and Turkey. And NATO ought to kick Turkey out. They really ought to. They'll probably just wait till Turkey calls on them and say, yeah, no, we're not coming. But I think Turkey's going to be a problem. And it's interesting because Turkey is Sunni, and Iran, Syria, that whole strip and through northern Iraq is all Shia. I'm wondering how they're playing together. Interesting times, interesting times. All right, that's what I got. It's an interesting world. Here's the deal. I had somebody talk to me the other day about one of these things, and I went back to my fallback. You know what? It's good to be aware of this stuff, and it's good, you know, talking about drones. I think we were talking about killer drones. It's good to be aware of that. But at a certain point, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't do anything about the North Korea situation. There's nothing you can do about it. So what you have to do is break that down in your brain, whether it's North Korea, Syria, Iran, messing with Russia, soft messing with China, you know, these kinds of things, MS-13, you know, whatever. If you can't do anything about it, start breaking that down in levels to the point that where can you do something? Because at some point it's going to affect you, right? I mean, just the simplest thing is if we go to war in the Middle East, gas is going to go up. Okay, what's that mean? You really can't store enough gas to make a difference. I mean, you know what I mean? If you're a regular person, even if you stored 100 gallons, that really wouldn't make a difference if the prices just skyrocket. Something more important would be maybe move closer to work where you can use public transportation. Get a more gas-efficient vehicle. See if you can bicycle commute. See what I'm saying? So you look at this thing, war in the Middle East. Okay, I'm going to get a Prius. Right? You know, something like that, and you kind of do it ahead of time. I read a article that said, the economic collapse is coming, and there's nothing you can do to prepare. And it kind of went into some like mild doomsday prepper stuff. And then they said, but what's coming, no one can prepare for. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Try to get self-sufficient. You know, take care of your water, take care of your food, take care of your health, get your friends around you, dun, 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 dun. Be ready to repel borders, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's a lot you can do, and basic intermediate preparedness covers a myriad of ills. So keep prepping, don't panic, keep your nose to the wind, watch the news, but at the end of the day, going out and buying a can of beans, another can of beans to put on your shelf is probably going to be a lot more useful than spending the next 3 hours watching all these YouTube videos of these guys saying that there's going to be martial law in the government, the Marines landed at CIA to take it over or something ridiculous. I mean, come on. Are you serious? All right. I'll see you out there.